Hi everyone! Today we will talk about arrays and how to manage data collection using JavaScript. Arrays are an easy way to handle lists of elements, like tasks on Jira, music on Spotify, or watching movies on YouTube. Let's take an example, the YouTube movies. This page has some sections, each with a list of movies. The first section is top selling with 6 movies: If, Kung Fu Panda, The Fall Guy, Aquaman, Dune, and Ghostbusters. In JavaScript, we can work with a list of movies using an array. Let's call this list a top-selling array. Please pay attention to this part. All arrays contain one length attribute that indicates the total number of elements. In this example, the top-selling length is 6. Every time you add or remove elements, this attribute is refreshed. It means you don't need to count how many elements are inside. The length field is always up to date. Now, how to identify and retrieve one movie from an array. Each element is identified by one unique index. The most critical concept about indexes is that they start from 0. So, if you want to watch the first movie, you need to ask the computer to get the movie on the index 0. If you want to watch the second movie, you ask for the index 1. It seems strange, but it is how computers work. An easy way to see arrays is imagining a hallway full of doors, starting with 0. Each element is stored in the room behind one door. So, if you want to get a specific element, you need to know the number of the room where it is located. Summarizing, our top-selling array contains 3 pieces of information: the elements, the indexes, and the length. The length is equal to 6, the initial index is 0, and the final index is 5, not 6. Starting using JavaScript. If you want to watch the last movie, you need to express to computer that, from top-selling array, get the element on index 5. In JavaScript, we express this request as top-selling, square brackets, 5. This piece of code will be interpreted by computer, and the magic happens. Computer returns the selected movie to you. To get started by programming in JavaScript, please install VS Code and Node.js on your machine. Open the VS Code and create a file called movies.js. You can use this code available on the description of this video. On the first line, you will specify the name, top selling, and the data inside the array. Instead of creating a complex movie object, let's simplify and using only the titles. So, we have If, Kung Fu Panda, The Fall Guy, Aquaman, Dune, and Ghostbusters. On the second line, we are using console.log to print the movies in the terminal. To run this JavaScript code, click on the menu Run and Run without debugging. Check the tab Debug Console and you can see the list of movies specified before. In the next step, let's execute line by line of this code. First, click on the left side of the row number 2. This action adds a breakpoint. It stops the JavaScript execution on the line 2 and allows us to inspect all variables inside. To do this, click on the menu Run and Run Debugging, or press the key F5. As you can see, the code stopped on this line. Now, go to the left panel Variables, Local, and expand the top-selling array. You can see the list of the 6 movies available, and on the left side, the respective index. After the list, we see the length of the array, the number 6. Also, you can pass the mouse over the top-selling array and inspect the elements. The best part of debugging is using the debug console. You can type any command in JavaScript and play with the elements. I will type top selling and see what happens. Press enter. Great, we have the same list we've seen before. Now I want the movie on the index number 3. Great, we have the Aquaman. How about the movie on the index 0? Correct, movie If. On the index 2, the Fall Guy. But what happens if I specify an index that do not exist on the array? Top selling index 10. I have undefined. And let me try top selling -1. Also undefined. Amazing. In the last step, I will type top selling dot length to see how many movies exist on this array. Correct, we have 6 movies. I will click on the red button and stop the debugging. Now, I will create a small script to print the first and the last movie, including the size of the list. In the first line, open quotes, type first movie, close quotes, plus, let's specify the first movie on the index 0. So, use top selling, square brackets, index 0. In the next line, let's type console.log, open brackets, open quotes, let's movie, close quotes, plus top selling, square brackets 5, semicolon to finish the line. Our last piece of code will be console.log, open brackets, open quotes, movie size, close quotes, plus top selling dot length attribute, semicolon to finish the line. Let's click on the menu Run and run without debugging. In the debug console, we can see the results of each command above. Let's add a space between the first movie and the title of the movie. Okay, clicking and run again, and it's great. Now we can see first movie, If, last movie, Ghostbusters, and movie size 6. It's time to talk about basic operations with arrays. The command Shift moves all elements to the left, removing the first element. Notice, the last index is removed, and the length of the array is updated to 6. If you want to include a new element in the beginning of an array, use the command Unshift. This will move all elements to the right and open a position for the new one in the index 0. A new index number 6 is created, and the length is updated to 7. When we want to include a new element on the end of the array, we use the command Push. A new sequential index is created and the element is attached. In the end of this operation, the array length is 7. The final command is Pop. It removes the last element in the array, including the last index. Remember, every time we change the array, the length is automatically recomputed. The final length is 6. We also can replace elements inside one array. In this example, we are replacing the movie inside the index number 2 with the movie The Godfather. Now, I will replace the movie Ghostbusters in the index number 5 with the movie Casablanca. One interesting way to add elements to arrays is specify indexes that do not exist. When we perform this code, the new index number 6 is created, and the movie Forrest Gump is attached to the final of the array. The array length is updated to 7. However, this kind of operation can lead to a critical error. At this moment, we have an array with 7 movies. The last index is number 6. Try guess what will happen if you try to add the movie Gone with the Wind in the index number 100. One tip: JavaScript will not block this operation. After run this command, JavaScript did exactly what was specified. included the movie Gone with the Wind in the index number 100. However, take a look at the attribute length. It's not consistent anymore. Instead of 8 movies, it was recomputed as 101. This is the reason we strongly recommend the use of the functions onShift and push to include new elements. It's time to show JavaScript on action. In this example, we have 3 lines of code. The first one is creating the movies array, the second one is printing the initial movies title, and the third line printing the array elements. If I click to run, I can see all movies here. Let's remove the first movie. To do this, let's type movies.shift. Click on run and okay, as you can see, the movie if it was removed. Let's try shift it again. What happens? The Kung Fu Panda was removed. Now we have only 4 movies. Let's type console.log movies array after shift twice, just to see in the terminal. This time, let's add one movie on the first position. Let's add Casablanca. Now console.log and printing all movies. Let's run. Okay, so let's include another console log to specify movies after unshift. New movie. Okay, let's run again. Now it's clear. Instead of using console.log, let's use debug. Remove all lines, add a breakpoint, clicking run, starting debugging. So we can use debug console now. We can see the movies and we can do all operations again. Removed the first 2 movies. Now let's type movies.unshift and add Forrest Gump. Okay. As you can see, we have now 5 movies. If I type unshift again and include the Casablanca, we have 6 movies. Let's type movies.pop and remove the last movie. Let's pop it again, remove the movie Dune. Now let's type movies.shift and remove Casablanca, the first movie. Let's shift it again and remove Forrest Gump. We have only 2 movies in the array, and what I want to show is we can add more than 1 movie at a time. Let's include 3 movies in one command. Type movies.unshift, first movie Dune, if and Casablanca. Press enter. Now we have 5 movies. The movies were added on the beginning of the array. Let's use the push. Forrest Gump and Kung Fu Panda 4. Press enter and you can see the list of 7 movies. Remember, the function push includes the movies in the end of the array. In the next example, let's apply some operations using index. Let's remove some movies using pop, the last ones. Let's remove the first movie using shift. Type in movies, and you can see 4 movies. The first one is Casablanca on the index number 0, and the last one, Forrest Gump, on the index number 3. Let's replace the movie Aquaman. This movie is in the index number 2. So type movies, square brackets, number 2, equal if. The movie on the index number 2 must be replaced by what I am specifying. Okay, press enter, type movies again, and you can see the movie If is now on the index number 2. Aquaman was replaced. Now, let's replace the movie The Fall Guy on the index number 1. Type movies, square brackets 1, equal, open quotes Dune. Press enter, and amazing, the movie Dune is now on the index number 1. Now, let's type in movies, square brackets 100. This index does not exist, so Gone with the Wind. Type in movies, and voila, we have 101 movies. When you open, you can see only the 5 movies. You see the initial movies on the correct index, but the last one is in the index number 100. And type now movies.length 101. We have a gap between the initial movies and the last movie. Let's see if it's possible to fix this problem. Let's remove the last movie. Type movies.pop and type movies.length. The result is 100. Interesting. Even removing the last movie, the gap is still there. In conclusion, avoiding including new elements using indexes, using the predefined functions like unshift and push. You don't want to have this problem in production. In the final part of the video, we will discuss how to use length -1. It is really important to understand this concept because it is frequently used on array operations, loops, and algorithms. In this example, we have an array with 5 cars and the last index is number 4 because the array starts on the index number 0. In other words, we can represent the last index as length 5 -1. Let's have some practical example. The cars are sorted by price, and we want to know the most expensive car. As we have 5 cars, we know the last index is the number 4. So, to get the most expensive car, we use cars, square brackets, number 4. Consequently, to find the second most expensive car, we need to subtract the last index by 1. That is 4 minus 1. It results on 3. So, the command in JavaScript will be cars, square brackets, number 3. It is easy to work with indexes from small and static arrays, but on real world we need better strategies. To exemplify the scenario, let's use a superstore with lots of cars. And the total number changes frequently. If I want to get the most expensive car, I need to trust on the length of the array. Remember, the length is always up to date, even when we add or remove elements. So, to represent the last index dynamically, you can use cars.length -1. For the second most expensive, you can use the previous index and subtract by 1. As a result, we have cars, square brackets, cars.length minus 2. The same rule applies on words. It's time to see working on VS Code. I created an array with cars, type on debug console cars, expand, and we can see the list of cars. Type now cars.length. We have 5 cars. Now, type cars, square brackets, cars.length. We can see it's undefined because the last index is 4. Type now length minus 1. Perfect, we have the last car. Type now length minus 2, and we have the second most expensive car. We can use this expression to access every car in the array, including the first one on index 0. Just type cars.length minus 5. In the final of this video, let's create a small application. Let's type console.log. The most expensive car is, close quotes, plus cars, square brackets, cars.length minus 1 to access the last index. Semicolon. Press F5. So we can see the most expensive car is Ferrari. Amazing. Let's copy this line and access the second most expensive car. Now use minus 2 and run again, and we have the second most expensive car is Rolls-Royce Ghost. Summarizing what we learned today. We can use the arrays to work with collection of data. The elements are identified by indexes. The length attribute is the most reliable way to get the total size of the array, because it's updated when we add or remove elements.